in that way. Yours was the best part of my movie. I'm sure you'd be the best Build-A-Figure of the year. Huh?
What's up, Wolfpackers? It's your boys, the Wolfpack.
Your mama's favorite YouTubers.
Ugly sweater time, guys. That can only mean one thing.
End of year review.
Stick around. Let's rate the best Build-A-Figures of 2021.
These were the top 2 of 2020.
Man, is it going to be hard to beat these.
Pretty simple rules, guys. This Build-A-Figure had to have been opened and reviewed on this channel.
We won't be including any deluxe box sets.
Or super deluxe box sets. MODOK.
And if you guys are finding our channel for the first time, smash that subscribe button, turn on those notifications, guys.
We drop content like this all the time.
Alright, let's get on with the Build-A-Figure of the Year 2021.
Deuces. Without MODOK.
Honorable mentions for those figures that just missed the cut. Many deluxe figures this year. At a $30 price point, it seemed like every time you turned around, they were dropping another deluxe figure. 2021 was a good year for re-releases. If you missed out on that Vulture from 2017, it was easy pickings, as well as a one-off episode of What If. This year was the first year of the Super Deluxe with MODOK, as well as the Infinity Saga. Many must-have figures in the Infinity Saga line.
And even some figures that we didn't get a chance to open. And then, of course, we had this guy. Wolfpack for life.
Dishonorable mentions. Figures so bad, make you want to slap yo mama. Batman's Future End had the most potential out of all of the Build-A-Figures for me this year. Release dates being spread out as well as figures being re-released in single carded form kind of slowed the process down. There was just no fun factor. Even when I picked up the legs for him, there was no rush for me to pick him up for me to build him. I'm sure I'll pick up Blight because I know that he needs to have his rogues gallery of villains. But in the end, there was just no rush. There was no fun factor for putting this one together.
Funny story is I never finished building Mr. Hyde. It's a retooling of the Kingpin Build-A-Figure with slight modifications. It's a new head, new hands, and new cane. Maybe I'll pick up some of those other figures on clearance at Ross or Dollar Tree. Growing up, I was a huge fan of What If comics, so I was elated when I heard they were doing an animated series. One thing I never asked for, though, was a Watu action figure. There's not a whole lot of fun factor with this one. You can't have him do anything other than sit in the back and watch over things. Maybe Wave 2 will bring us that heavily armored Watu. I'd want that one.
Even Mattel jumped back into the Build-A-Figure game with WWE. 4-figure Wave made it very easy to build, but there was no fun factor that came with building Paul Ellering.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's tonight's top 10 list. Let's go.
Number 10.
During the livestream Hasbro reveal, man, were there a ton of poop emojis when this one was revealed. While the wave itself was really good, everyone said that it was a very lazy Build-A-Figure. It was a retooling of the Wendigo body mold, and the Wendigo body mold was just a retooling of the Sasquatch body mold. Wasn't the best figure, but it's a top 10. I gotta squeeze it in somewhere.
Number 9.
January, February release date, many people forgot that Stiltman was in 2021. The guys at Hasbro really hit it out of the park with this one. They gave us an army builder for a Build-A-Figure, so you could go as high as you wanted to with your Stiltman. If you could get your hands on some hand ninjas. This is what my Stiltman looked like for the majority of the year. Valley559 sent these over. Thank you, brother. Or else I would have had Nubman for the rest of the year.
Number 8. Originally, I was not all in on the Tri-Sentinel. I was only going to pick up a few figures from this wave. Somewhere down the line in collecting that line, I decided I had to have this figure completely built. The beauty of this Build-A-Figure is that it pairs well with Nimrod, Omega Sentinel, Bastion, and the rest of the Sentinel crew, no doubt giving it an added value. Number 7. Bane. Bane. How the bar was set so high for you. From your comic book adaptation with Scarecrow on your back, right down to the zombie mummification. How we wanted you to succeed so bad. While I like the feature of including Scarecrow, they could have placed him much higher up on the torso to be comic book accurate. I did like that they gave us articulated hands, but they could have done much better with the scope. Good accessories with the plastic bag and his rebreather, and I like the noose, as well as using this peg from his intestines to port into Bane. This one had QC issues up the wazoo with the arms falling out, as well as the hands always falling out of their sockets. The real deal breaker for me was when I had to take our good friend Mr. X-Acto Knife and cut out a piece of this rubber jean to make a gap so that my leg would stay on. Posable statue is the word that comes to mind when I think of this figure. Once you got him into a pose that you needed him in, it was perfect. It was a perfect figure. But as far as an action figure, I would not call it an action figure. Posable statue. Number 6. Our next figure comes to you from the Dark Multiverse. Don't feel bad if you've never heard of him. I had to look him up too. Comes to us from the Dark Multiverse, and he is actually his universe's Batman, who defeats and absorbs the powers of Darkseid. If you're a fan of the bigger, thicker Batman body molds like Batfleck or even Brave and the Bold, Dark Knight, Year One, you'll like this figure. Bigger, thicker body. Even an Adam West. Adam West can fill this suit anytime. While his wave wasn't that fun to collect and build, there's no denying that it's definitely a unique form of each of those characters individually. The cape is even removable, as we see the peg there, and then he's got a front peg as well. Good detail all around. It doesn't look ridiculous without the cape either. Number 5. Sam Wilson, Captain America. They did it to us in 2017, why wouldn't they do it to us in 2021? Taking away his wings, he's still a visually striking figure. Now the 2-pack with the goggles and goggle-less is going to make this one obsolete, but at the time we didn't know that. Did the TV show push the toy line? Did the toy line push the TV show? Comment below. They even got us to buy an accessory that is kind of worthless, but I get it. It's practical. It's even got a hinge and a ball joint for your Redbird. Doesn't work with anything you try to do. On a side note, this is the second Build-A-Figure that comes with its own custom flight stand. Number 4. Ursa Major, aka the Build-A-Bear wave. What's not to love about the Build-A-Bear? Here, I'll show you. As a bipedal figure, it somehow doesn't look like a bear. In its quadrupedal position, it somehow doesn't look like a bear. It's a retooling of the Sasquatch body mold, but somehow better. They take away the ab crunch and the waist swivel, and now we're on a ball rocker. Since they redesigned the lower half, they did away with the port for the tail, as well as added on this mane to give the appearance of lats and delts. Awesome design on the head sculpt, brand new, never had anything like this, as well as the hands, redesign, and feet. Pretty good figure, I'm liking it. Number 3. Shout out to the Pride of Texas, the Armadillo. First thing that came to mind for me was the mascot for the Armadillos. Lots to like with this figure. They gave us a retooling of the Sasquatch body mold where they took away the ab crunch and waist swivel and gave us the ab roller. They retooled the body mold and gave us these armored plates on the thighs, on the knees,
all the way back, all around. Really good detail on it, and it's soft pliable rubber, so you're going to be able to flex and do whatever you want, and it actually even comes off. So
New sculpt on the feet, hands, and head. But there's bigger ramifications for this figure in 22 and beyond. Are we looking at the body mold for an updated armored rhino? Or you peel it off and give me the skin tight animated series rhino. The body mold is there, guys, and I'm excited for things to come. Number 2. Of course it's King Shark. Who wouldn't want their very own perfect killing machine? King Shark is the best McFarlane figure this year. Hands down. Fins down. Teeth down. This is cool. I didn't even know that this was a thing. Just figured that out today. If you couldn't find him in the single carded form, your best bet was the 4-figure Build-A-Figure of Suicide Squad, and I'm glad I did it. Number 1. You versus the guy she tells you not to worry about. ACBA ramifications on this one alone are off the chains, but we had so much fun with all these accessory pieces. Just a fun figure to play with, very hard to put down. Computer renderings gave us a bigger, even girthier figure than this. It stands at 8.5 inches, so imagine how big the other one would have been. Pirate cosplay, Gladiator Colossus. I've heard tons of names for this guy. I like to think of him as like a superhero by night, stripper by later night. You know, the Xavier Institute doesn't cover everything, so you know he's got to secure funding on his own. Brand new body mold, as we can see with the size-by-size comparison from anything that Hasbro has ever given us. Removable armor and articles of clothing mean that you will have a unique look to your own Colossus, however you pose it. Any pose you put him, guys, he's going to be a cool looking figure, and that's why he's my number 1 pick for Build-A-Figure of the Year. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2021 Build-A-Figures as bought and reviewed by the Wolfpack. It was a fun year for building, guys, but it was also a fun year for collecting. What do you guys say we do it again in 2022? That's going to do it for this one, guys. Did our top 10 match up with your top 10? Let me hear about it in the comments below. Deuces, guys. We will see you in 2022.